United versus Wolves at Old Trafford. Factually, you will never, ever, ever get an easier game this season. The players obviously can't go in with that mentality because they've got to be expecting the unexpected. But the way the Premier League's going this season, anything can happen. I suppose the main question is to open this, Sam, is we want to see a lot of goals here, right? You want to see a convincing performance rather than a scrapey one.
It'd be nice. It would be
It would.
nice. A clean sheet would also be nice. Only got our second one at the weekend in not exactly a convincing game, I would say. So, yeah, it'd be nice to get a clean sheet, score a couple of goals, and just have a nice, easy win. But as it's United, it's never that simple. So, yeah, I wouldn't put my house on it, to be honest.
Yeah, we saw a bit of a different game against Newcastle, didn't we? Kind of a first half of attacking Fleury and creating chances, and then a second half kind of protecting the lead and box defending. From at least from a defensive standpoint, without going into 11 too much, who do you think has earned the right to be in that back line for you?
I think we both agree it's Aiden Heaven.
Yeah,
I think he agrees. I think he has to be there. That he's phenomenal against Newcastle. I think he stood out and rightfully got man of the match. Lissandro, I don't know if they're going to start him this short in a row. I don't want to spoil my 11, but yeah, I thought he was excellent, but I don't know if they're going to start him that many times in a row. So he's questionable. I thought Dorgu was excellent as well, playing in that winger role / wing back. Like he sort of shifted about quite a bit. So I think they all deserve to start for me. Like they were the standouts for me. I didn't think Dallo was bad. I didn't think Shaw was bad either. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the defense. It's just, as we know, the midfield is normally the issue, which causes the goals that we concede. But it looked relatively solid with Casemiro and Ugarte, I must say.
Yeah, I remember, obviously, under Ruud van Nistelrooy, I got the few games, and Chivy mentioned this the other day, that it was Ugarte and Cass in the middle of that when he went to like a 4-2-3-1, wasn't it, what we was playing. And it seemed rather balanced because you could have someone sitting, and obviously Ugarte is more of a pressing 8 anyway, rather than someone who's going to shield the back line. In my opinion, whenever I've watched him, I feel like he performs better there. So I wouldn't expect too much change in the midfield personally. No. However, Kobbie Mainoo could return for this game, which is the one where I'm like, okay, because if you're seeing players coming in like Heaven and doing so well, and Amrin always talks about how much, a week in football can change, you would imagine Mainoo is definitely going to get some minutes, given the circumstances. So do you think if he is fit and available and given, that goal he scored against Wolves, it'd be the perfect time to play him at Old Trafford?
Yeah, I'd love to see him start. I don't know his injury status at this point, which is why I've not put him in the team because I don't know where he's at. But if he is fit, apparently he said he'd missed this one, but he might be back for Wolves. So hopefully he's fit. But yeah, I'd love to see him start. I'd love to see him get a start either next to Ugarte or next to Casemiro or whoever he want to, because he deserves some minutes to show what he's got. I think, like you said, at home against probably one of the worst teams in the Premier League to sort of ever play. They might actually beat Derby County. Derby County's worst points tally at this rate. So, like, that's not an argument there. So, yeah, I just think if you can't start him now, when's he going to start? Do you know what I mean? Like, because Bruno's out, that this is the time to start him if he's fit. Obviously, he probably would have started against Villa had he been fit. But, yeah, I think this has to be the time. I would like to see it. But there's still a big question mark over whether he goes in January on loan. Obviously, it might be after AFCON if he does. But yeah, that's still a really, really interesting question.
Yeah, because Mason Mount obviously pulled up as well, didn't he? He was, had a bit of a calf injury or whatever it was. I can't remember what it was that Amrin said. So if there's another spot in the midfield, you think, right, you're quite literally down to the bare bones now, aren't you? You're talking like you've got Jack Fletcher. And then it's that's kind of it, isn't it, really?
Well, we had his brother, didn't we? Tyler Fletcher. He was on the bench as well. So it's just like it's one of those two.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, if he doesn't get in now, I would be, especially. I mean, as we're talking now, 28th of December, the January transfer window opens in a couple of days. Yep. If you want to change his mind and get him a run of games, now is the perfect time. Wolves, Leeds, Burnley. get some minutes in those legs and let's see what he's about, because we all know he's a talented player.
And we know Bruno's going to be out for a month.
Yeah.
So that could be 4, 5, maybe 6 games where you could get an absolute run of games if you play well.
Would love to know everyone else's thoughts on this, by the way. Do you think Kobbie Mainoo will start against Wolves? Get it in the comments section and we'll read them out shortly. Another player I wanted to kind of pick out whilst we're talking about individuals. Benjamin Šeško, Sam, has only played a full 90 minutes 3 times. Sunderland, Forest and Brentford. Why do you think the manager keeps taking him off? Because you think as a striker, you need goals for confidence, right?
Yeah. And I remember back in Fergie's day, we used to just play strikers through droughts.
Yeah.
We used to just play him until they got a goal. And I think substituting doesn't really do a lot for a striker's confidence. I think he thought he played all right against Newcastle, hit the bar.
Yeah.
Made some good space, some good play and stuff like that. I thought he did okay. I didn't think he was poor. Like, I didn't think he was not other races. Like, I thought he did well, and maybe he could have come out with a goal. But yeah, I think stick with him, keep him in the team. I think he will get some goals eventually. But yeah, the whole substitutions against Newcastle were bizarre, to be honest with you. And I think Šeško was the one that was the least bizarre, even though I wouldn't have taken him off.
Yeah,
I think the whole substitutions were just weird. Like, apart from the Mason Mount one, I didn't understand any of them. I really didn't. I just didn't understand any of them.
And the issue is, if you're going to take a striker off, it's valid if the striker you're bringing on has hit a bit of hot form or, scored a couple of goals recently.
One of the worst games.
Oh, he was so shit. I mean, even Chivy couldn't defend it. Chivy loves Joshua Zirkzee, but you can't. He came on. I think maybe he might be already mentally checked out. All this stuff with Roma. Apparently, it's advanced and maybe that's why. But I mean, since he's coming, I've just not rated him. At least with Šeško, I think he's not done as well as I personally thought he would.
Yeah.
But you can see there's something to work with there. You can see this, there's signs and you can build on it. Whereas with Zirkzee, I just think because he hasn't got that side of his game where he's not clinical enough either or ruthless in front of goal. It's like, what are we waiting for? We just...
he has nothing we need. We need a guy to hold the ball up. He can't do it. We need a guy who's clinical. It's not him. And we need someone who's quick.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have any of those qualities. So it's just like, he doesn't fit into this as a striker anyway. Maybe he could be a 10, but as a striker, it just doesn't fit.
I suppose as a collective, from attacking standpoint, there is green shoots. I mean, I was listening to Gary Neville, Roy Keane, and Jamie Carragher talk about it, saying, obviously defensively it's nowhere near good enough still, but attack-wise, the numbers are getting up there. I think we're 30 or 30 plus goals now, whereas the entirety of last season was 44, and we're only halfway through the season at the moment. Mason Mount, when he's in the team looks better. Cunha, I think, has been a decent signing so far. But seeing that surprise, Sam, with Patrick Dorgu on the right, I know you kind of mentioned it before, but have you got to keep him there now, do you think? Given how well he played?
I think that performance he put in was phenomenal. Obviously, he got a goal, really well taken goal as well. Like, the volley was excellent. I thought he offered a threat as well going forward, put some decent crosses in. Went at fullbacks. I thought it was excellent. And I was listening to Talk of the Devils, and Mark Critchley mentioned the fact that he was he played right wing for Lecce most of the season last season, which is interesting. I didn't know that, so there's good signs there. Like, if he played most of the season at right wing, he's clearly very comfortable there. He's clearly very good at it. And I think, did he play off when he played his first game? Or he plays on the right hand side? Didn't he?
Did, yeah, because everyone was like, you brought in a left wing back,
and then you're playing him at right, yeah. So he's clearly very comfortable out there, and he doesn't just cut in because he is left-footed. He doesn't just cut into his left. Like, he offers crosses from the right. Like, he changes his game up. So I like that unpredictability, which fullbacks can't stand. They hate it, which is why they love defending against Anthony, because he knew exactly what he was going to do.
Yeah.
There's a bit of unpredictability with Dorgu. So yeah, I would keep him in the team. Like, I think he had a really good game. He mentioned Ruben Amorim's comments as well, didn't he? Because Amorim gave him a bit of a dressing down, saying he was anxious on the ball, he was too nervous and stuff like that. So he's clearly took those comments and he's worked on it, and his confidence seems to be better. So I wouldn't shatter that by taking him out of the team like after a performance like that.
Yeah. On the Mainoo situation, niche fan saying I don't want to see Mainoo playing because of the t-shirt incident, and Happy Life saying I don't see Mainoo playing against Wolves. Maybe it's a bit of a too quick to start him. But if he is on the bench, I don't see a thing where he doesn't get minutes. I think I'd be very surprised, even if it's 10, 15. I think it's time to play him now, and I think it's bad management from Ruben Amorim if he doesn't do that. But
especially with Bruno out,
he
was competing with Bruno. Apparently, according to mine, he's competing with Bruno. So, when is he going to get an opportunity if not now when Bruno is injured?
Maybe the lead up to November, December. The questions that he was being asked constantly was about Mainu, wasn't it? Like every press conference was about Mainu. Maybe he was actually just waiting for AFCON and players to go to give him a run in the team. Because he was talking about what was the game before Newcastle when everyone was gone? Villa, yeah. About the Villa game, saying it's an unfortunate timing that Mainu's out, and he was saying he probably was going to start and all this. So this would have been the batch for him to play, and I think if he's still out now, the window gets smaller and smaller, and it gets more difficult.
Yeah, he's going to miss his opportunity if he can't get fit.
Yeah. Let's dive into some key stats anyway. So Man United have won 8 of their last 11 Premier League matches against Wolves, beating them 4-1 earlier this month at Molineux. I think we all remember that one. After a first half, you're like, oh, shit. Wolves won this exact fixture 1-0 last season, last winning consecutive away league games against United between 1960 and 1961. And this is the third time Man United have faced an opponent twice in the same month in the Premier League. So it's quite a quick turnaround in it. I think there's a few clubs that are doing that. This whole schedule, Sam, has been a bit bizarre, hasn't it?
Yeah, we had a run of the beginning of the season, some of the most difficult fixtures, I think.
Yeah.
And then we had a run of what we thought were winnable games, and we dropped points every single time. And now, we've got a favourable couple of games: Wolves, Burnley, Leeds. But then in January you've got City and Arsenal, I believe. So
tough.
It's a tricky one. So we need to win these next 3 in particular, because there's no guaranteed points against Arsenal or City. Win these 3, get some 9 points, and then if you do draw or lose against either City or Arsenal, it's not as bad because we've picked up points on the way, which famously we're not very good at.
Yeah, on Wolves, lost 12 games in a row. And a minute, that's the form they're cooking up with. So
terrible.
Yeah, 2 points from 18 games, scored 10, conceded 39. If they replicate what they've done in the second half of the season, they would go down comfortably as the worst ever Premier League team. On the flip side of that, though, the silver lining, obviously not for Wolves fans, Sam, but it's quite refreshing in it to see teams who have managed to stay up and flourish, the likes of Sunderland, maybe not Leeds because we don't like Leeds. But Sunderland in particular have done very well. So it's nice to see that in it, because usually it's the same old teams that come up that go down.
No, Sunderland have been refreshing. They've bought well. Obviously, they spent quite a bit of money, but they've bought really, really well. The likes of Xhaka has been transformative for them.
Do you see his assist before, by the way?
Xhaka? Yeah.
Oh,
excellent.
My God, what a
reverse pass.
Yeah.
Edinga from Brighton has been a really good buy.
Absolutely.
That goalie, I think he's preventing the most XG of any goalie in the league.
Yeah, Robin Roos. Great goal.
Dan Ballard is a really good defender. Chris Rigg is obviously there as well. They've got a really good squad. Manager seems to be tactically switched on.
And they've been hit by AFCON as well.
Yeah.
Quite a few players go there.
Yeah.
So
and they're still up with it. So all credit to Sunderland, man. Shout out to Dougie Critchley, who's obviously been on the channel. He must be flying at the minute, the fact that how good Sunderland are doing. I think Wolves and Burnley probably go down.
Yeah.
And then it's probably a battle between West Ham, Forest, Leeds, maybe Everton.
Let's have a look. So currently at the moment, West Ham are in there, but they're on 13 points. So Forest are 5 points ahead of West Ham. Leeds are 7 points ahead of West Ham. So West Ham need to start getting some points on the board.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, Tottenham are 14.
Yeah, Spurs have been terrible. For sure.
Newcastle 13.
They've got Palace today, so it's just it's the battle of who's worse at the minute, because Palace have been on a really shit run. So it's a tricky game that later on. But I'm so glad we're not involved in that battle. I'm so glad.
Oh yeah, last season, how fucking draining was that? Looking at the table, horrible. You're watching shit teams blow. You thinking, please lose. Because people genuinely talk about relegation, scary times. Which is. Yeah, it's nice not to be there. A bit of a breather, and we're talking more about European football rather than that. As for individuals from Wolves, any players you cherry pick? I'm just looking at the team that started against Liverpool there, and it's just like Jose Sarr,
sold all the best players.
Mascara, Bueno, Doherty, Andre. Like Andre and João Gomez were the ones in it. If you're going to look at any,
but even then, I wouldn't pay a lot for João Gomez. Like,
you're right.
I wouldn't break the bank for him. Like, if you can get him like 15 million or something, then I might consider it. But I'm not going to break the bank for João Gomez. Like, we took their best player in Cunha.
Yeah,
like that was their best player. We took him, and then City took their ever best one in Aït-Nouri. So, you cannot sell your best players every single year and expect to stay up. Like, eventually, it's gonna catch up to you, and it's catching up to him right now.
I don't feel like I've seen Aït-Nouri in a City shirt yet. I don't know if he's just been injured.
He played a couple of games there. He did his ACL, I think. So I think he's out injured.
Just not been seen. But I think he's gone to AFCON with Algeria. I'm pretty sure I saw him starting for him. So
maybe not his ACL. And he did an injury. He had an injury.
He must have had a big injury.
Yeah.
So yes, interesting times. Ones to watch for you in this game. One from United, one from Wolves.
United, Cunha. I thought he had a really good a good first half.
Yeah.
Against Newcastle. Second half, I think his decision making was a bit poor. But I think that's just who he is. He's that type of player. He's head down, like run into stuff. Like he's not always great with his sort of decision making. But I think he's really, really key for us, especially with the absence of Mbeumo, Bruno, and those sort of, and Ahmad. Like he's really key for Wolves. I mean, Strand Larson, but he's been piss poor this season.
He was good last season, wasn't he?
He was great last season. Well, Newcastle tried to buy him for 50 million, didn't they?
Yeah, might dodge
so like he had a good last season, but this season, honestly, none of Wolves players I think about and worry about. Like the only thing I worry about is us fucking it up. That's what I worry about. Get us making a mistake and giving them an opportunity. That's what I worry about. There's none of their players. I'm like, watch out for them. But I think Cunha will be significant for us.
Yeah, I think I've gone Mainu if he starts, because I think this game could be the game. I don't think he will, but even if he comes off the bench, I think he's going to have a cameo where people go, right, time to start playing him now and getting him some minutes. Or Mount I'll go for as well, because Mount's looking really good at the minute.
I hope he's not injured.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I think it was just a precaution from everything I read. So, I hope you're right. For Wolves, I thought in the first half, particularly when we played him last time, that Bellegarde was the one player who was... He scored, didn't he? The goal that he scored was decent, but he was every time he got the ball, it was like, okay. So as long as they deal with him, I think that's pretty much it. I don't even know if he's fit, available. I have no idea. He weren't in that team that was looking at them when he played against Liverpool. So God knows who's going to start and who's going to play. We'll have to wait and see. But they're the players I'd go for. Let's dive into the starting 11. So Sam, I'll pop yours on the screen first if you want to just talk us through that.
Yeah. So there's some question marks over injuries. So this is why I've got the team that I have. So I've not put Leacher in there just because obviously that was his first start. Again, had an excellent game. So I don't know what his injury. That obviously they want to take the time with him. So I don't know if he's going to start a second game in a short period. Yeah. So that's why I'm talking about Yoro, Heaven. I think Heaven deserves to keep his place because he was fantastic. Shaw Lamons, Dallo and Dorgu, because I thought Dorgu was excellent and Dallo was fine. I'd put Dorgu on the right hand side. So that's why I play Dallo on the left. Casemiro Ugarte, because there's no Bruno. Again, I don't know the status of Mainu. So I could see maybe Mainu starts in there, but I don't know what his injury status is. Obviously, the press conference will be tomorrow, I reckon, or today, whenever. But so I don't see his status. And then again, Mason Mount's status, I don't know what his status is. Obviously, took him off at half time. So I've put Xerxes in there, but I prefer to see Mount there if he is fit. And then Cunha, Sesko pick themselves because we haven't got anybody else. So,
Yeah, I think maybe I've gone a little bit too soon with Mainu starting, but it's just because I really want to see him. I think Mount would be okay just because... let me put that back on the screen, sorry. I think Mount would be okay because, like I said, it did seem like a precaution one, so I think they would have just been like, let's just take him just in case. And we'll see. I think he'll stick with the back four. So I think Heaven and Leach will start again. I think them two together was really, really good. But I do agree with you that maybe it's a bit of a risk playing him for full 90 minutes twice. So maybe you will see Yoro come in. Dallo and Shaw both been good. So no qualms with that at all. I think Dorgu, same reasons. Šeško and Cunha up top. Šeško is just going to start. And hopefully a full 90 minutes. If you can't score at Old Trafford against Wolves, I'm starting to get a little bit worried about you.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, this is the game to get a goal, or maybe even two. Like, get some confidence underneath yourself. Get a couple of goals in this game.
Statistically, like I said, you're not going to get a better game. It's just, you know what I mean? So I want to see a good few goals in here. Let's do a quick fire round. Again, people in the chat, get involved if you want. Will Wolves score, Sam? I'm going to go no.
No. We kept a clean sheet, so I hope we can do another one.
Yeah, absolutely. First player to score.
Šeško, fuck it.
Yeah, I'll jump on with Šeško. Let's try to speak it into existence. Will there be a penalty in this game?
No.
I agree. The best player to have ever played for Wolves?
Oh, Jesus. I don't even know my Wolves history.
No. It's got to go Cunha, right? I think.
Cunha, Ruben Neves.
Ruben Neves was top when
yeah, I really liked Ruben.
I
still take it. Jota, I forget about Jota. Jota might be the one, mightn't he? Ruben Neves, I love, and I'd still take him now, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah, they've had a few. I used to hate going there under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to Molineux.
Yeah.
It was one of the worst teams ever.
Do you remember when we got Bruno in the January in the first game was against Wolves? And he absolutely changed it. Like the whole team dynamic felt different when Bruno was started. So yeah, I remember that.
Man of the match, in your opinion, who do you think?
Cunha. I think he'll have a point to prove.
Yeah, I think so. Niche fan saying yes. Mount to score the first goal. Yes to a penalty and Cunha. AI Williams saying Cunha to score first. He looked desperate to score against them a few weeks back. Afternoon, chaps. Been a while since I've caught a live stream. Really hope Mount isn't injured. He's just started building some momentum. Has been looking great. Happy Life saying we should be getting 12 points, but you never know what this team's going to do in every single game.
Yeah,
spot on. And Dorgu a shout as well for player of the match.
I agree.
I'll go with seen this cat's just scrapping. It's never a normal day. Let me just scrapping there, like, you know what I mean. I'll go with Mason Mount if he's fit and available. I think it's probably a decent shout. Please do let us know your thoughts. We're getting into score prediction now. Do you want me to go first, Sam, or are you going first?
I'll go first. I will say 3-0 United.
3-0. That's fair, innit? Given everything, you think we are scoring goals at the minute. Wolves aren't scoring goals.
Yeah,
I think
I will not accept a 1-0 win against Wolves. No, it's not acceptable. You get some goals for fuck's sake.
I agree.
At home against Wolves, you have to score some goals.
Yeah.
It has to happen.
It's got to be a fucking pasting on it, like a convincing.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're going to go to any game this season, you would say it's this one, innit? If you want to be entertained and you want to see a couple of goals.
If you're taking a young kid and you're like, oh, you want to see United score?
Yeah.
This is the one. This is the game.
Agreed. Z-Gold saying 3-1 to Manchester United. Yeah, everyone seems relatively positive. So fingers crossed we can get the job done. Keep piling on these pressures on teams above us because, I mean, Chelsea lost to Aston Villa, didn't they, yesterday or whenever it was. So we're level on points with Chelsea at the minute. Liverpool, 3 points ahead of us, so we need to keep the pressure on them. You know, if you beat Burnley, Leeds, and Wolves, you're right in the mix there for European football.
We just don't focus on the other teams. Just keep winning games.
Yeah.
Because, lads, we've seen this Premier League season. People can't stay consistent. People drop points all the time. Yeah. So if you just keep being consistent, winning your games, you'll find yourself in the top 4 at some point. Like Villa, because they put a run together. What, are they 8 unbeaten now? 8 wins in a row or something?
Yeah, not well. I think it might be more. I think they've won 16 out of the last 17 or 18 or something ridiculous.
So, and they were like second yesterday. Yeah. So that's how quick you can find yourself in like the top of the table. Like you put a run of wins together, you find yourself right up there. So yeah, be consistent. That's all I ask for United. Just be consistent.
Yeah, a couple of games on today at the moment as well. I think Leeds and Sunderland are drawing. So Sunderland drop points. That means they're currently just below us on 28, which is good. So they'll stay in 7th. And then you've also got Crystal Palace, who are 3 points behind us, who are playing Tottenham, who are currently 6 points behind us. Tottenham are so bad. So bad. Yeah. I mean, if they lose this game today, that I think the talk about it
at
least starts, kind of generating, and people are like, yeah, maybe it's not the right guy.
Like
maybe they'll bring Ange back in. Who knows?
If you brought Frank in and then he ends up finishing the same place as last season, which was one of their worst, that's insane. That's insane.
I saw him doing an interview before, but for the Palace game, they was asking him like, where do you think you are at the moment? And I was like, oh, well, we're in the transitional phase and yada, yada, yada. And he was like, it's quite difficult because we're in Champions League football. And like, it just sounds like a lot of excuses.
It's difficult. Like, you want to be in the Champions League. What are you talking about, man?
Yeah, he's I think he's one of the managers who just suits being the underdog. No one really spoke about him. If he lost to Brentford, it was kind of like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Everything you did at Brentford was an overachievement because of the budget and because of the size of the club. When you're at Tottenham, it's a different expectation. You have to be pushing and competing or attempting. You can't just be like settle for mid-table. Like, it's just not acceptable at Tottenham.
They brought up a graph and they was looking at where Poch was finishing consistently, like third, fourth.
Their best manager, arguably.
They was a Champions League team. You know what I mean? So
got to a final. They got to a Champions League final.
Way off it. Them, I'd put them in the same bracket as Newcastle. I mean, I'm seeing people talk about Newcastle now, saying like Eddie Howe out and he's reached his limit and his ceiling. And a year ago or a year and a half ago, you were hearing things like he's the greatest British manager ever. And all
he's touted for the England job before Tuchel got it. Like, it was all sorts of talk.
Limited, and they got I was gonna say they got pasted by us, but we didn't get pasted.
No, they didn't.
But we beat them. That's the main thing, right? We'll leave it at that, guys. Obviously, Crystal Palace and Spurs kicking off shortly as well, so we can all go and enjoy the football. This has been your preview for the game against Wolves at Old Trafford. Should be a convincing pasting of a team, 3-4-0.
Famous last words.
Yeah,
famous last words.
Essentially. But we'll be live. I think we're playing on Tuesday, right, Sam?
Tuesday night, 8 o'clock.
Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. I wasn't live for the Newcastle game. That was on me. That was because it's Boxing Day, and you know what I mean.
None of us are in any condition Boxing Day, by the way. None of us are in any condition. I drank a lot Christmas Day, so I was hungover. I think Nick was drinking Boxing Day, so yeah. None of us were available.
Asked me to analyse the second half of that Newcastle game, and it was just non-existent because I was
remember.
A few whiskies deep. But we will be sober and focused and ready for the game on Tuesday night against Wolves, pre-match and post-match. So please do come and join us. If you can leave a like in the video for us and check us out on Instagram as well. All the news surrounding United, everything you need, whether it's interviews, whether it's whatever, just check us out on socials, TikTok, Instagram, and X. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Subscribe to the channel if you can, if you're new here. And yeah, appreciate it.
Leave a comment. Leave your score predictions in the comments, please. I want to see more comments on videos, so leave your score predictions, please.
Yeah, man.